She has a little bit of wave to her hair, but yesterday we actually waved it. We have a product called American Wave. Did we even bring a box of American Wave up? Nice.
They're currently in our wave class that's happening right now.
Oh, they're all in the wave class. Maybe we can see AJ. This is AJ. She's one of my great young colorists. She said to me a year ago she wanted to start traveling, so she's in it to win it. Go to the booth and bring up a box of American Wave, please. So we used our waving lotion, and Zoe created the wrap for this is an expanded curl pattern, yeah? So what she's going to do is she's going to share with you how she used these noodles. We like to call them soft tools, yeah?
Bendy
So we
rods.
use these bendy rods, soft tools, noodles, ba-doodle, doodle, doodle. And we're going to show you how we made this wrap. And it works like a permanent wave used to work, but it's cysteamine, which means it's a non-thio-based waving lotion. It smells the best that it could smell. We really worked on the fragrance because bad eggs is not a sexy smell. We have a deodorizer. I worked personally with the chemists, and this is the best waving lotion out there. And I think we're ahead of the curve. And I'll tell you why. I've been to all the trade shows this year. I've not seen anyone doing any kind of permanent wave, right? And last year, this service grew by 105% in my business. The numbers never lie. And every week, we are getting people certified in American Wave. And we used to do a thing called a perm, but guess what? The perm was $150 in my salon, and American Wave's $400. So we spun it on its head, upgraded the service, and I'm telling you, we are definitely on the wave of the future. So she's not going to show you how she did it from wet to dry. She's going to kind of mock it up. Obviously, she's just brushing it out now so she can loosely give you the concept and the idea. Now, while I've been away from this show for 2 years, I took a 2-year sabbatical from all of the trade shows because I was resetting my business. When you reset your business, you look and you say, okay, what are we going to do? And because I'm completely independent, I've got no investors, I've got no partners, I've got no money men, and no one behind me. It's just me, hard work. But what I do have behind me is an amazing team. But for the 2 years, what I did was I stepped away to reflect. I opened up 2 salons. So I now have 3 salons in New York. We have one in Williamsburg, Brooklyn, which is really cool. We have one in Tribeca. And I opened up a 2nd cosmetology school. So right now we have 2 cosmetology schools, 3 salons. And what we've done is we've really built our business through Arrojo product with our ambassadors. And our ambassadors are people that carry Arrojo product and they become part of our culture. We're not selling shampoo. What we're doing is, we're not only selling shampoo. What we're doing is we're really selling culture. And I'm joined on the stage all the way from California, Mr. Jeff Stump. And then he's got a great salon out there, Architects. And right here, my good friend, Mr. Alex. And he has got an amazing salon in Chicago. So this is what we're building. And we're going to meet a few more of our ambassadors because we're, like I say, we're the inclusive. And if you're in the audience and you want to get more information about Arrojo as a brand, because you could be on the stage with us next year. Yeah, you could be on the stage with us. We got a big booth downstairs with 2 chairs on it. You can be part of our culture. We're pushing it forward, and we're in it for the long haul. So just connect with us, and we'll share, because we don't go through we don't do it the same way that everyone else does it. Everybody else does it through distribution. And distribution is good, but I love the personal connection, and I love being able to give the hairdresser the deal and not the distributor the deal. So it's a different business. I got my little gorgeous girl here. What's your name? Kennedy. Kennedy was painted yesterday. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with Kennedy. I'm going to use my straight razor. She's got beautiful heavy hair. I'm going to use my straight razor. I'm going to start to put some magic around the face. Simple technique, beautiful with a razor. I'm a big razor cutter. These are handcrafted wood razors that we sell on our booth. We're into quality craftsmanship tools. Place the razor in. Now I've got like this magical tool which I work just with my thumb. This is the lock and the load. We've mastered how to teach people how to razor cut. And we teach people because, you know what, if you got something different than everybody else, you can start making more money. And in fact, we taught a class last week in Alex's salon, and Alex, who's a former Sassoon artistic director, picked up the razor and enjoyed the class, and that was a lot of fun. So before I hand you over to the team to get an update, I am just spraying the hair with a product called Hydro Mist. This is a lightweight spray conditioner. It's going to add softness and silkiness into the hair, and then I'm going to start to come through. I'm going to start to take forward sections, diagonal back. I'm going to comb these sections forward. I'm going to start to go from the shortest point here down to a pre-existing length. And what I'd love to do right now, while I'm getting set, hand you straight over to Alex. He's already deep in the mode, and give him a big round of applause.
Fantastic. Good morning, everyone. I trust everyone's having a great time at the show. It's an absolute pleasure being up here on stage with Nick and his team and in front of you guys. I'm keeping something very, very simple, salon-friendly type of shape, little edge to it. We're taking off a bunch of length, a lot of dry ends, you know, because of the sun and all of that stuff. So we're going to do a lob. I hate to use those terms, but you know, the model was like, I want a lob around here. And I said, well, that's a bob. So
what do you call it? A blob?
A blob.
A blob.
Thank you, yes.
Sexy a name. I'd like a blob, please.
So we're keeping some length, and I'm going to work some horizontal square graduated layers, and I'll be able to explain a little bit more as I'm going along. Right now, I'm just establishing the length, getting rid of a lot of excess weight. The type of layering that I like to do with a square graduation is more of a technique as opposed to a haircut. So this is something that I do probably 90% of the time in the salon. Short hair, medium hair, long hair, curly hair, fine hair, doesn't matter. It's a technique that allows me to control the weight distribution and the balance within everything, yeah? So, you know, obviously everyone here knows how to cut hair. You'll be able to see what I'm doing as I'm going along. And really, that's it. Because we're a small, intimate group, if anyone has questions, just put your hands up. And if we can see you from here, it'll be great. Just one little useless bit of information. I'm not trying to be cool. My glasses go darker in the light, so that's it.
I'm not trying to be cool. My leg's really damaged.
He was trying on the girl's shoes earlier on. That's all it is. You know.
My Comme des Garçons boot. Okay, Mr. Jeff Stump, talking about cool, let's go over to California and see Mr. Cool over here, Mr. Jeff Stump.
Hey, how's it going? I'm Jeff Stump. I'm from Costa Mesa, California. I own a salon, 10-chair salon. Owned it for about 5 years. I've been with Arrojo around the same time. I started with Arrojo because when I first opened my studio, I didn't have a culture. I didn't know how to evolve it. So when I linked up with Nick, all of a sudden things started happening. There was an energy about it that was greater than myself, and it's been a great experience. I'm loving every minute of it. I get to do stuff like this. This also, you know, sparks interest in my team. It gets them motivated. I've brought people to the expo. Are you guys familiar with the expo? It's a great event. Yeah, it's a great event in New York. If you haven't been, do yourself a favor and go. I took 5 of my staff from the West Coast, flew them all out. They all got certified in American Wave. They learned a bunch of color techniques, cutting techniques. They were able to take a doll head home too. And on top of that, they were in New York. It was the experience of a lifetime. And they still talk about it. And that was, you know, I think last October.
Yep.
And they still talk about it. And they want to go again. They're actually saving up to go again. And then guess what? Because I'm an ambassador, I have Arrojo points when I buy stuff. Now I've got a little bit of a carrot to dangle. You want to go back to New York? We can make it happen. Your retail needs to come up, you know, then so forth, and I can use my points towards the expo tickets. So that's kind of what's on the roster for me right now. And what I've really find for myself that's been beneficial in this whole thing is that I can have my own identity and my own brand within his brand as well. You know, I'm not lost in the Arrojo brand. You know, like for him to introduce my salon, I mean, it's great. So I like that I have my own identity, per se. So, thanks. So I'll get into this haircut real quick. So in the interest of time, we've cut a few things out. You guys can see the sides are are actually gone. She actually did that herself, which I was like, oh, I thank you that you're my model. I love that you did that yourself. This is great. So obviously we like that. She's not afraid of short fringe, so we're definitely going with the shorter fringe. In the interest of time, too, I did cut some of this back out. So I'll kind of lift these up a little bit slowly. I tried to clip them out without getting marks. So I have kind of a triangular disconnected thing here, or hair parts on the side, so there's going to be a little bit more here on this side. Underneath here, I just took a triangular section and I cropped it out, just graduated a little bit. And then with these, I did kind of diagonal, short to long, just so that they hug the neck and they wrap. So the idea is to kind of have this really cool, almost mullet-type hard-line fringe. These things will wrap behind the ears, so they always come forward. And then we're going to crop these top sections out. But I'll use the length of the fringe as kind of a marker for where I want to go with these. So it makes sense. So I'm going to get back into that. I'm going to take this fringe off in just a second here, so she's going to have a lot of hair on her face, so we'll get that off. So I'm going to go ahead and section her all out. I'll turn so you guys can kind of see. Grab a clip.
Great job, Jeff. Okay, so while Jeff's making magic happen there, and he's a great hairdresser, one of the things that we do, because we have salons that carry Arrojo products nationwide, we get to be across the country. And me and Jeff, we do a lot of work together in California when we teach at the Goldwell Academy. And it means that we have academies that we use, and we have academies all over the country, salons that we use. But we have something nice to share at the end, because we are going to be establishing a more regular presence in Florida later on this year. So what's happening right here is I've started to kind of work from the front to the back, and I'm working now one side in its entirety. The great thing about the razor is, number one, if you can draw it with your finger, you can draw it with you can cut it with a razor. Because we're cutting the hair behind the backs of the fingers, it means I can keep extreme length. I'm really into long hair. Of course, it's always fun and dramatic when you have shorter hair, but long hair is very sexy, and it has so much more play with it. The reality is, today, after hairdressing for so many years, part of my vision is, you know, I'm more into styling hair, playing with lengths. It's part of what we're doing. And certainly, you know, for me, being able to use my hair product to create different textures, that's the real magic. So as I work through, just completing one side, you can see you got to comb, high tension cutting. It's high tension combing. So you got to really get through the hair, comb the hair nice and taut, really tight tension. You get that razor moving, and we're using what we call an open stroke as I just melt that hair away. Now you want to do this with the hair damp or wet to the touch. You do not want to do it where the hair is soaking wet, and you do not want to do it when the hair is too dry. So you want to keep some fluidity in the, and some kind of glide in the hair. That's what the Hydro Mist does. It really helps to give you that glide, and then it really helps to create this kind of shorter layer. And think about where the hair's going to fall. Think about what's going to happen to the hair. Because we're not doing clean, smooth hair anymore. We're doing hair that's a little bit more ruffled, more textured. It's more organic. So I'm going to damp this side down. I'm going to cut the opposite side, and then we'll do some finishing detailing work. I'll hand you straight over to Zoe, who's replicating the wrap that we did for the American Wave.
Great. So I've actually started here with the front so you guys can get a nice peek at the rods and see how nice and flexible they are. I'm really working very quickly here, which is a great thing about the rods. You can really put this wrap in super quick, which, you know, obviously really helps with, you know, processing time and all of that. You know, it's a very quick service in our salon. And I've started with the sides. We've kind of sectioned out below the rounds of the head on her side here, and I put 3 on each side. And we like to wrap away from the face because it gives that really nice swept back away look. And then I've done the mohawk section in the front here for you. And you can see how the rods here, you know, they sit pretty nice and flush to the head. You can really get nice tension with them, and they're really, really easy to work with. As far as the waves that we have here, we have the color wave that our model's holding, Anna Maria, correct, right? And then we have the American wave here. So both systems that we have, they come with, you know, aftercare. They have the American Wave product that we just came out with. And, you know, it's really selling the look, the lifestyle, which is so in right now. In the streets of New York, what we have right now is texture, it's movement, it's summer beach wave. It's really, really nice to see, and we've had a lot of requests for these.
If you track your numbers and you track your statistics, then you can see what's selling and what's working. American Wave in my salon, we're doing every single day. It's the modern wave for the young client. It is not your grandmother's perm. And we basically eliminated the worm permanent wave from our menu because we created a brand new category of service. And if you think about what the perm was, it was something that where hairdressers made the most money. We've had such a great 20-year run with smoothing treatments that to get into waving, I think, is the beginning of the next 20 years. And rather than just making hair smooth, the ability to change and create new texture is pretty spectacular. And the other young lady that had the American Wave yesterday, she has flat, straight hair, and we just bumped in a little bit of softness with a, you know, the nice thing about it is when we studied the market, and I'm really into studying the market, I like to study what happens. You study online, you study in the streets, you study by reading, seeing what's trending, yeah? When you study it, you realize that people are interested in changing their hair, but they want it to have a permanent feel, but not completely permanent. With American Wave being so soft, what that actually does is it does not mean that, you know, it's going to be overly tight if you don't want it to be. Mm-hmm. And for a young person who wants to maybe have a more beachy wave in the summer, change her look up through the summer, that's the perfect time for it to trend. So razor cutting is part of my culture. It's part of my training. It's part of my process. Yeah, we built 3 very successful salons. Our haircutting prices go from $80 all the way up to $500. Yeah, as you hear about big salons in New York, and obviously you see this major wave of independent hairdressing across America, which we enjoy. Yeah, because we sell our products to independent hairdressers. We have indie intros. We encourage everybody from all different facets of the hair business. But my business has still been built through training, through education. It's still built with employees. We're building a culture and a connectivity, and we're helping to develop people's careers. And as we connect with other salons, we're creating more and more new opportunities for our teams and also for our like-minded salons. So as I work through, you can see how I can keep this nice and low. I can keep my shoulders nice and low, and I can just melt that hair away. It's very comfortable, and I'm working all the way to the pre-existing length. It looks like Alex is deep into the layering. Maybe we'll swing over and catch up with the man with the best mustache in town.
That is wonderful. Thank you.
I think it moved.
It took me a minute to cultivate it.
And today, we said yesterday, if you was watching us, I said, because there's so much screaming in the show floor, today at 4 o'clock, we're not going to be throwing away T-shirts. We're going to throw away Alex's mustache. So come to our booth. We're going to take it off, and someone could walk home with that wonderful mustache.
It's a good thing to put on your mantle at home. It's lovely. It's always be there with you. So so much to share, and really, you know, we've only got like 25 minutes to on stage. So, you know, please come to the booth where, you know, we'll be doing some more work, and we'll be able to talk about what we're doing a little bit more in depth. But just really, really quickly and really, really briefly, you know, you saw I started with horizontal sections in the back, and I was cutting shear to palm. Yeah. So each section is down onto the one before, so I'm gradually building up weight. And once I hit the area where the head rounds off, I cannot continue shear to palm because I'm little, right? I would need a ladder. So at that point, I switch my fingers, and now I'm cutting shear to back of hand. What I'm doing is this line, this square line that I created in the back, is continuing to go all the way around towards the front. Okay? What I love about this technique is that I really have total control of the graduation. I could pull everything all the way back if I wanted. I could leave the front section out and have a disconnection. So it makes it a really great opportunity for something to be quite creative, even though the shape is very simple and very, very basic. All right? So I'm going to continue working all the way through to the front, over-directing hair slightly back so that I keep length in the front. You can see what's coming off. My fingers are absolutely square to the head. I make sure that my client doesn't lean over to help me, because that's the kiss of death. The minute you take that section and the client leans over, keep your fingers up nice and square, bring the elbow up, and you can see what is coming off and what's being left behind. I have a salon in Chicago, downtown Chicago, called Trio Salon. This year we celebrate 25 years of being open. Thank you so much. Thank you. I started when I was 5, and
his mustache was a lot smaller.
Right. I actually had a mustache back then, yes. So, I mean, what do you say after that, right? At that point. So many things. But I've had the pleasure of knowing Nick for a very, very long time. And, you know, we both worked at Vidal Sassoon back in the day. And when I was asked to come to the States, I said, sure, anywhere but Chicago. Because back then, Chicago was not cool. And they said, sure. You could go to either New York or you can go to LA. So I ended up staying in Chicago, and I always kid him, because I could have been Nick Arrojo. Anyway, so we're good friends, and he's always in Chicago. You know, like you said, we are an ambassador salon. Just last month, we did an American Wave certification, and we invite other salon owners, not just from the state, from all over. And the following week, we did a razor cutting class. And then we did a expo presentation. So there's always something going on. And what I always say is that we don't have to go to New York. New York comes to us, you know. So it's really, really exciting to kind of see what's going on. Sometimes I don't get it because I'm old. But, you know, being a hairdresser, you gotta have that open mind, and you got to see what's happening. And, you know, my clients are dying off. So I need to start getting in some younger clients, right? Anyone else have that problem? Yes. So what do we do to kind of get that young client back in the salon? We have to reinvent ourselves, right? We have to hang with the youngsters, you know, the ones that are creating those looks that the young people want. And the Arrojo brand is the only brand that's doing it out there. So, you know, I commend my friend and his team because, you know, they're making things happen.
Corinne, come on up. I need your help. Good job, Alex.
Thank you, sir.
Making it happen.
Making it happen.
Yeah, we've been doing this a long time, haven't we?
Yeah, we have.
And do you know what? The best is yet to come. The best is yet to come. You want to just put in a little bit of the glint and then just give it a little blast. Just tousle her through. This is Corinne. She's one of our very talented hairdressers. She's got a good fan base. She builds herself really well on social media. She helps with our social media presence. And we have some of the Arrojo hair jewelry. She's sporting it right here. We met this really cool designer, so we made some hair accessories, which we sell in our salons. So this creates a lot of interest in the salon. Yeah? Stand up, gorgeous. This creates a lot of interest in the salon because of the way that it looks visually. It also creates a lot of interest because of the texture and the curl that it makes. Maybe we can get a close-up on this if we can. Great. And you can have fun creating this because when you make hair smooth, it's kind of you going for smooth. But when you bring in texture, we have about 10 different wraps now that we've formulated. And if you've been hairdressing as long as Alex and I, in 1980, if it moved, we permed it. Yeah? Everybody had a perm. If it was in 1980 right now, you better sit at the back because you wouldn't be able to see because of all the curl that everybody had in their hair. Yeah? So we believe that this is definitively making an impact. And we also know because our clients love it. And it gives you creativity creating texture. And if you want to make money and you want to be a successful stylist, and money's not a dirty word, it makes the world go round. And it's why you work. We're lucky because we do things that we love and we actually generate revenue. So this is a great revenue generator. It's a new thing for your salons, for your chair, for your salon, to have a new service and share it. And we believe that the service really is it's a spring-summer service. And I think when you map out your business, well, your chair, who you are, what is your identity, you should think about what are you doing and what are you doing now and what are you going to be doing next month or next quarter, because you got to map out success for sure. Any final thoughts, Zoe?
Yeah, so in terms of this wrap, Nick had mentioned we have so many wraps, and we've really done the research on what works and what doesn't. So, you know, coming to a class of ours, you're going to learn a classic set of wraps, which is one of these. This is our classic support wrap, style support, and it really gives a nice full look, which you can see was accentuated by the shape that was put in. I believe Alex cut her yesterday.
Yes, Alex cut it on stage, and we'll be in the classroom this afternoon. I believe it's about 2:30. So if you want to come and see us in a more intimate setting, come and see us. Why don't we take her off and get her unwrapped and get her ready for the final presentation?
Hey, just for the record, too, it wasn't me that cut her. There was another Alex that works with Nick, who's just super, super good, too. She's actually manning the booth right now. So.
Yeah. Well, that's the nice thing is you have all these great people. And Nick, this is what we're going to do towards the end of this year. I'm going to tell you. We're going to create an Arrojo art team. I'm going to create an art team nationwide. So if you're interested, you got to stay connected to me because I'm going to have an artistic team and we're going to create culture. And I don't care whether you're an independent hairdresser or if you work in a big salon, you will have to be part of our culture with product. But this art team is going to help deliver education nationwide. I'm so busy focusing on how to build success for me, for my family, for my team. You know, as a salon owner, my job is not to feed clients to hairdressers. That's not my job. My job as a salon owner is to build careers and help people with their careers. So the people that are with us, and if you ever look at Arrojo, the cast of characters change. We're putting great people into other people's salons. Yeah, because people move to LA, people move to Miami, people move all over the country. And they've been with Arrojo. We've been in business 16 years. And last year we were a $13.25 million business. And that's not a bad growth from $25,000. And I rented a couple of chairs to begin with. So now it's kind of scary because the scope is big and we continue to build and grow. So let's jump over quickly and see what's happening over there with Daddy Cool. With Jeff from Architects.
I had to put the beanie on so I don't look like Charlie Price. But as you can see, we took the fringe off. You know, it's a little ambitious, obviously, to cut a fringe like that hard on this element here with no mirror or anything like that. And her hair's dried. We didn't really get to wash it, you know, the bangs out. But I like how it's coming together. I kind of actually like the chunkiness to it. So it's cool because it's got a lot of texture, and you can see the exaggerated shape through here. So with that diamond that I left out, or the triangle that I left out, I just took it vertically down, took it from that, and went shorter to long. And so I'm doing it on this side as well. I'll grab one here. And I'm literally just texturing it right off.
Okay, I'm just putting a little bit of one of our hero products. This is our dry shampoo, refinished dry shampoo. This is going to add a bit of texture and volume and bulk to the hair. When you look at the texture here, you'll see what the razor cut has achieved. I think she looks great. Take a walk there, straight off. Thanks, Corinne. Done?
Beautiful, yep.
Beautiful,
Little
Alex.
dry shampoo too. Very, very loose blow dry. If we had the time, perhaps a Denman or a round brush just to kind of give it a little bit more finish. But you can kind of see the type of shape that we've ended up with. Her lob has got a little bit of graduation in there. Does not look very, very heavily layered. But it's got this very soft, very street type of finish to it.